Okay, how you doing out there? First things first, my name is Kenneth Bird. I'm the creator of a luminous 4K screen paint using ambient light projection technology gain times 8. This is my movie theater setup screen. You watch me build out of scrap wood that I had sitting around in the shop. Let me see if I can figure out exactly where I just did my baseball cap here. Grab some stuff real quick. I'll be right back. So it's about 98% done. Just got to finish my wood trim at the top. That's basically about it. But so far, came out great. Fantastic for a screen I just built out of scrap wood. So let me go grab a few things upstairs real quick. Very happy about this. Can't wait to start watching some movies off of it. So I had to go upstairs and grab me a clean shirt. Grab me a clean shirt to put on. But there's the screen finally done. All built from scrap wood. I'm very happy with it. So let me give you a look at the screen real quick so you get an idea. Now hanging the screen was a job on its own. This thing is actually very heavy. It's much heavier than the frame I have over there, which is going outside on the deck. But this thing is actually very, very heavy to hang up. So I had to install a hook system, as you can see right there. And there's the second one there. And I'm not worried about the hook system being seen because there's going to be a bit of like movie style artwork going across the back up there that reflect back off. I got them at the top and the bottom underneath here. So that's next. And then once I put up that nice, beautiful trim at the top, we're going to actually decorate it again with some of this crown molding that I picked up over at Lowe's. So I want to do like a kind of extended out kind of molding. So we're going to have the first one. It's going to cover all that. It's going to be kind of a little wavy area right there, give kind of retro kind of movie design. And then we're going to do the crown molding in between that to make it stand out a little better. So at the bottom, as you can see, got a much better job because that's why I installed that lip at the bottom of the screen so I can actually hang the curtains off of it. I've got the movie curtains coming from the bottom, extending all the way to the floor. Got the ultra short though Sony sitting right there, and it came out absolutely fantastic. It didn't cost me much money to build the frame because, like I said, I built all the parts like the screws, brackets, all that stuff was just reusable that I had laying around. And the LED lights are the OLED lights that were over on this screen right here. So tomorrow morning I have to get up, I have to mount that one to the deck out back, and then I have to get the drop cloth, or not drop cloth, but some kind of plastic drop cloth to cover over to protect it because we have geese out here and geese will crap on just about everything, and I do not want them hitting that massive screen. But so far, like I said, I freaking love it. Came out fantastic. Now the coating I'm using on here is the Supreme 8 ambient light projection screen paint. That's what's being used right now. My projector on the floor is a 720p Sony. I think it's around 3100 lumens. I think that's what that projector is. And gonna have the lights on. As you said, this stuff is ambient light projection technology, so I don't have to worry about my screen ever washing out or fading in a fully lit environment because this stuff is designed to thrive and work. The fact that I'm in a well-lit environment. Look at that. Picture quality comes up with no problem whatsoever. Freaking love it. I'm glad to have this done, man, because my big screen has been sitting in the corner for the longest time. And keep in mind, between orders and everything else that I had to process, it took me a while to get around to getting this project knocked out. So got it done in about 2 days. Tomorrow, just got to finish the rest of the trim for the top, and that's it, and I'm done. And I got to basically put the sound bar behind the back of the screen. I got to do some wire management, and that's it, and then we're done. That's it, and we can start enjoying the screen. I'm going to show you the ambient light projection technology kicking in. Show you I can use the screen in a fully lit environment. Don't have to worry about my picture quality washing out or fading. That's what I love about this stuff, man. And this is on a 720p Sony projector. As I said before, you don't have to spend a lot of money for your projector when it comes to our technology. What's the point of going out and spending all this money for a projector? These are 720p projectors. This one out here is 720p. I think the only ultra short throw I got sitting in the house that's full 1080p is the Optima GT56. That's the only one. But everything in here runs down to 720p. All right, so I'm gonna let that play through. And I got my, there's my star finder for the ceiling over there. I'll get to enjoy that later on today when I get done. So we're gonna pop upstairs, and I'm going into the gaming room upstairs. This is one of the things, like I said, I love about this technology, the fact that I'm using my Tri, and I don't want to be, I'm going to be bumping a few things here and there, sorry about that. But one of the beautiful things I love about the technology is the fact that you will never ever see me with a TV. Never see me with a TV. What's the point? What's the point of having a TV if I can do the same thing with our technology? I don't have to worry about having TVs in the home. I don't have to spend the money. I don't have to be bothered with it at all. If I want a bigger screen, I can paint it. Keep in mind, it comes to a TV. The bigger the size you want, the more money you're going to have to pay. So I can come and change screen to right now. I can change it to an 80, 120. Doesn't make a difference. It's not going to cost me any more. 100-inch, quarter brush screen paint. It's going to paint 100-inch to 120-inch right there. That's one thing you'll never see me do. You'll never see me come on here and say, hey, you know, this is my gaming TV. You're not going to hear the word TV come out of my mouth. Either you support your product or you don't support it. I stand behind my product 100%. I will never endorse, or I will never come in here and tell you that a TV is the way to go. Screen paint's the way to go. Have to be to stand behind your product 100%. Sorry about the mess there. That's wifey. So we can sit here and watch Bob's Burger, Netflix, Crackle, whatever you want to watch on my setup right here in a fully lit environment. The only time somebody's going to sit there and support a TV is that their product don't work. If your product don't work, then you must be supporting TVs. We don't do TVs over here. We do all projection. I had somebody tell me, oh, it's stupid to have projection screens throughout your entire house. If you had my technology, you would have them throughout your entire house. By this summer, I'm going to have them in the backyard too. But if I'm gaming, and not to be disrespectful or anything, I'm sorry. I can't game on a 24-inch screen. I can't do it. I can't even game on a 60-inch. I'm used to gaming on a 100-inch or larger. The smallest you'll see me coming to a screen, and some of the demonstration screens are probably about 80 inches. But I can't do gaming on a screen of 24 or any, I just can't do it. I mean, I'm used to doing it on a much larger size. Any gamer would tell you right from the door that the biggest fantasy they'll have is a game on a giant screen. How many of us sat in the movie theater and looked at the screen and said, gee whiz, it'd be kind of nice if I can hook my gaming system up to this? Pretty sure we all had the same idea. Like, I wonder what my Xbox 360 or PS4 would look like on this movie screen. Everybody wants that giant screen to play on. You know what I mean? I can't. If you're going to support your product, you support your product. I'm never going to endorse GE or LG or Sharp or any one of them. Projectors, yes. TVs, no. Why would I support a TV when I design screen paint? If my gaming room, if this is my gaming room and I'm going to be displaying my product, I'm going to have my product in my gaming room. I'm not going to have a TV in my gaming room. I don't support TVs. You have to be to stand behind your product 100%. That's why if I walk through my entire house, you'll see nothing but projection screens. You're not going to see a TV sitting here. The only TV I have in here is a security monitor. Those are it. That's it. I got a few security monitors. That's it. Other than that, everything in this place runs off freaking projectors. Because I can't sit there and tell you to buy my product if I have no faith in it, if I'm showing you and displaying you a TV. It doesn't make any sense. That's why when my girlfriend slash wife was saying, hey, let's put a TV in there. I'm like, I'm not putting the TV in there. I'm not even going to spend the money for a TV. I'm going to get my Optima GT56, set it up, and we're going to paint a 60-inch in there. And we're done. And that's it. She's been in love with it ever since. Come on there, turn the lights on, everything's good to go. That's what I'm talking about. If you're gaming, you have to have contrast. You have to have it. Anybody who's gaming knows you have to have contrast. If your screen can't pick up contrast, if your projection screen paint can't pick up contrast, then guess what you're going to have to do? You got to go out and get a TV, because a TV can pull contrast. Kind of get what I'm saying here? So if you're basically saying that your main gaming system's using a TV and you make screen paint, that means the reason why you don't support your product, because your product can't pull contrast, and that is a must in gaming. And keep in mind, this projector is not freaking 1080p or 4K. These are 720p projectors. One downstairs is 720p. The only one I got up here that's 1080p is sitting in the room over there, and that's the Optima GT56. Let me shut my door. Gonna get my lights kicking in here. Kicking. Because a lot of people got to stand. Even though, like I said, you got a PS4, PS5, you know what I mean? And you're gaming on it. You're going to do more than game on your PS4 and PS5. I watch movies. I watch YouTube. I got everything on here. I got all these different apps. I watch a lot of movies and TV shows and stuff like that on here. Hulu, Netflix. So I do more than just game on here. I watch movies on here too. So I would like to have that big screen experience of 135 inches, which I have right here, besides having it on a 24 or 32-inch screen. And this is my gaming screen. We don't do TVs over here. Is my soundbar up? Let me see if my soundbar up. Soundbar's kind of low. It's kind of low. There we go. Let me see something for a minute. Oh yeah, we're up. We're up. That's what we're doing today. Oh, actually, I was doing a Titan Falls today. I was doing Titan Falls. We'll do some Rush. I love Rush. That's one of my favorite games to play. Now you let me know. Would you rather play gaming? Would you rather game on a screen of 24 to 32 inches, or would you rather game on 100 to 135? You got to be to back up your product. You got to be. There's no point. Why in the world would I basically tell you to buy paint from us if I have a TV set and if I'm gaming off a TV, or say if my main screen downstairs, instead of it being a projection screen, say if it was like a 60-inch TV, but I'm telling you to buy paint from me. That's why if you look in any of my demonstrations, live demonstrations, every screen I display in my house is on a projector. So you got to have confidence in your product, and your product has to have ambient light projection technology. I mean, very good ambient light projection technology to replace every last screen in your home with a projection screen. It's like I showed you downstairs. This is what true ambient light projection technology is. If I want to play with the lights on, I can play with the lights on. If I want to play them off, I can play with them off. I got options. Since these screens are black, they pull the best when it comes to contrast levels. They can pull contrast levels that gray screens and white screens can't do. So anytime you see somebody switch over to a TV from a projection screen, it's because the bottom line is either the screen can't pull contrast or it just is going to fade in the environment. I need a special. I'm going to go with this.
Select a vehicle.
Oh, we doing bikes today? I hate bikes. I'm not good at them, but I try. I'm trying to get better at them.
Outlaw.
And I guarantee somebody's got a vehicle in here. This is online, so somebody's probably got a vehicle in here. Yep, I thought so. I'm screwed. Why? Would you give me a bike out of all these freaking vehicles? Someone hits me, I ain't gone.
Drive through gates to earn time for your team.
Getting better with a car. Now I got this mess. Look at that, all ready for the door. I missed my freaking whatchamacallit. Woo! You need it to work, it's a little insane. Let's see if we can get the flip in here. Oh! I was trying to get the flip and I couldn't get it. So I think I'm going to install the chasers in tomorrow. Man, I wish I could go bigger. If I could go bigger on my screen, I would definitely go bigger, man. I think the biggest gaming screen I ever had was 200 inches and I miss it. I want to get a bigger screen. I'm happy with this one, but I want much bigger. Trying to get across this area. Woo! Jump. I'm surprised it went that one because I'm horrible on bikes.
3, 2, 1.
Alright, too far behind. They do that when you kind of catch up. See if I can get this flip in there. Oh man, I keep going the wrong side. I want to try this again. I'm trying to get this flip, and I keep screwing it up. I keep landing on the wrong side. Oh man. Ah, somebody, that's why I want. Give me a vehicle, please. Yeah, they just trashed me. Like no tomorrow on that one. Nah, I gotta stick with the bikes. I got all bikes. I'm gonna try to get this flip in there. Oh, the traffic. Oh, yeah. There we go. There's one. Got one flip in there. I'm going to try to get two of them back to back. Oh, Mother George.
3, 2.
Oh, I just can't even nail this one, man. I get it, but every time.
Stay on the line.
Yeah. I think I'm horrible on a bike. Wish it was better. Woo! Alright. That's my lady telling me she just made it to her destination. Woo! I'm telling you, man. You can't get any bigger when it comes to a screen, man. You gotta go bigger, man. Every time you gotta go bigger, man. There's nothing wrong with having a 100-inch, 130, 140-inch screen. Can't believe I landed up there. Man, when I had the 200-inch screen and I played Call of Duty, my scope was the size of a hubcap on a car. It was freaking insane. Everything's better when it's bigger. Everything. Dance moves. Now I can't be. Like I said, if you're gonna endorse your product, man, endorse your product. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna endorse the TV. It'll never happen. I couldn't care how much money they basically offer me. I'm not doing it. Projector, yeah, I'll endorse a projector, definitely. You know what I mean? But as for TVs, no. Why would I tell you to buy interview or actually do a review on a TV if I sell screen paint? That doesn't make any sense. Let's come out of here. Let's do some Titan Falls. I've been dying to do some Titan Falls on this giant screen. So I went back in and downloaded my Titan Falls on here, Titan Falls 2, because I want to see what this looks like with having a giant mech running across this screen. PS4. Last I checked, I was getting the battery pack for this bad boy. Can you imagine what Titan Falls would look like on a 200-inch screen, or maybe a big? Oh my goodness, man! Let's go with this. I've done multiplayer on here. I forgot I've done multiplayer on here. Let's continue the mission. Just as where we're at right now. I'll bring my camera back so you can get the whole full scale of the screen. So my screen is 135 inches. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Oh, this is King. Hey, sorry about that. I got to ship you out. I got you taken care of. I've been telling you this over and over again. King is probably going to be the only one with a 9 because he's actually getting the 9 because he did so much advertising for our company that we're actually giving him the 9 wallpaper. He's pretty much going to be the only one with a 9 wallpaper for a while. We are launching him. It's just he'll have his first before everybody else because he did all these demonstrations for us, man. A lot of demonstrations, man. Dude's a really cool guy. Did a ton of demonstrations for us on the screens, on the wallpaper screens. So the 9, we have a 9 downstairs. I got to pack that up and get that ready to go too. We got a box for it too. And we're going to send him out a 9. I'm going right downstairs for him. Because I do appreciate that. Oh, there we go. That's my machine right there. Okay, buddy, we're going to get you up and going so we can destroy some stuff. We just wreck everything. There we go. Let me see where we need to go from here. Look at that. Get a battery already for this guy? He needs another battery, right? Alright, I'm pretty sure he needs another battery. Look at that. And that's on it. This is our technology on a 720p projector. There's no 1080p, no 4K, none of that. 720p. Alright, so let me see. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be something jacked up I gotta do. Alright, let me get some sound in here. Because I'm not hearing jack on this, so I need to hear what this guy's talking about. There we go. Because I can't understand the word he's saying. I need to hear what he's saying. So I can figure out why he wants me to jack up. Alright, where we going from here? Alright, okie dokie.
Pilot, my mapping systems have been restored. The ambush of the 9th Militia Fleet has landed us far off course from our original destination.
You think we can survive through this, BT?
We have no other options. We will have to improvise and adapt if we wish to survive.
How long did you serve with Lastimosa?
Captain Lastimosa linked with me 973 days ago.
Sorry. You guys must have been close.
He was an excellent pilot.
I'm trying to get through this mission, and this machine is just talking. I've already heard all this before. Let's just get through this so I can get in here and kill something. Alright.
We know there are militia survivors out there. We'll find you and we will track you down one by one. And finding orders still can. We have IMCs that are shaped everywhere. Resist capture and be branded enough.
Oh! Didn't jump that one close enough to the wall. Alright. Alright, let's see what we gotta do here. Definitely not going through that crap. No, I'm just gonna run and gun this sucker. I'm not gonna waste my time on this gun. Where's the other one? My weapon at? There we go. I'm having some fun with this one. Alright, how do I get down here? I gotta go and get some weapons. Yeah.
Your suit has an emergency cloaking ability. This can help you survive dangerous situations.
Oh, we don't need it. Oh, can we have that? I know we don't need it. Wait, we can take it. We can take that. Where's the handgun at? I'll take that. doggone.
It is up to each and every one of you to restore their hope and their resolve, to fight shoulder to shoulder, so that we may all enjoy life on the frontier, free of oppression.
So this is not going to go well.
All together in our very freedom is at stake. We fight as a unit, because we are stronger together. On our own, I will fight. We're not going to hide.
Alright, so this has got to be something going on in here about a fire. I haven't played this in a while, so bear with me. How the frick am I getting up there?
I thrive on casual indifference of others. They prey on the downtrodden. Fight them to train
That's
all their
interesting.
freedom.
Oh, never mind.
It is up to each and every one of you to restore their hope and their resolve, to fight shoulder to shoulder, so that we may all enjoy life on the frontier, free of oppression. All together.
Alright, whatever.
All militia survivors, it would be in your best interest to turn yourselves in. Only it would be better for our infantry to fight.
I was way off on that one.
Than a roaming prowler.
I think that's going to be interesting. I think I screwed that one up. Yeah, I screwed that one up big time. Big time. I knew I screwed it up. Really? How? I don't know. I passed that? I don't even know.
Pilot, our location has been compromised.
Don't need me a gun. Oh, they has rockets on me. Get the frick out of here.
Those drones are IMC scouts. Enemy reinforcements will be on their way. We must complete the Neuralink immediately. Please install the final battery. Power at full capacity. Pilot, we must establish a Neuralink in order to proceed. Please embark when ready. Establishing neural link. Neural link established. Rifleman Jack Cooper, you are now confirmed as acting pilot of BT-7274. Protocol 2, uphold the mission. Our orders are to resume Special Operation 217. Rendezvous with Major Anderson at the SRS. I'm detecting incoming enemy forces. Protocol 3, protect the pilot. Reinitializing critical systems. Vortex shield online. The vortex shield catches incoming rounds and missiles. Release the button to launch any captured objects back at the enemy. Down the button, the more locks you will achieve. Neural link complete. Primary weapon control and motion link reestablished.
Oh yeah, big me big boy.
Pilot, enemy Titanfall detected. We will have to fight our way to safety. Get ready.
Great. Just gotta kill a few bad guys.
A positive attitude can only improve our situation.
Militia flight spotted. That's BT-7274. Taking fire.
Yeah, well done, pilot. Our combat effectiveness rating has increased. Pilot, I detect more IMC salvage teams on the way. Our only chance of survival is to uphold our mission of rendezvousing with Major Anderson. Until then, you and I are on our own. Marking your HUD. You must move quickly.
Right, I'm gonna come out of that, save that for later on. I'm gonna go back into the racing game for a little bit. Look at that. Then I'll show you what's going on downstairs. Oh man, I gotta get downstairs. I gotta play on the little screen downstairs for a little bit. So today I'm going to order the chasers. The chasers are next. So I got my desk here all set up. I love those headsets. I haven't had time to play with them yet. Let's get a vehicle this time, because man, I do not do well with motorcycles. Ah, thank you, thank you. Oh, vehicles, yes. Got the crusher. Wait, I went too loud.
boost and rush to earn points for your team.
Already from the door. Mash me already from the door. This is online, by the way. Oh, come on! Second time this guy landed on top of me.
Go ahead. Looking good.
Oh, I can't believe I pulled that one off.
Get ready!
3, 2.
Come on!
Hey! Yes, finally. Finally came back. Oh! Got that. Yeah, I got the bike. Bike did that damage. Unbelievable. Come here, bring me in.
I beat John Ford! Overboard! Keep ready!
3, 2.
Come on!
Oh, this nonsense. This nonsense. Look at that. That nonsense, man. Taking out by a bike. Doesn't what if it's online, this is all online. Gotcha. Shit.
Doing it!
Finally. Go. And adjust my projector a little better. Walk out of there for a minute. I'll set you in here for a minute. Just gotta clean this mess up real quick. Mess. In the bedroom. That's why I said, man, if you're gonna basically talk about how good your product is, you should not be talking about TVs. I don't get that. How are you talking about how good your product is supposed to be? Your screen paint's supposed to be ambient light rejection, but yet you're endorsing a TV. Doesn't make any sense whatsoever. It really doesn't. See the contrast level pull up on that screen? I could be sitting here in a fully lit environment. This is a screen that's in our bedroom. Sorry about the junky environment. I try to keep it clean in here the best way I can. That's all her stuff. But anyway, we can sit back here in bed, watch Bob's Burger, all our TV shows, everything we want right there. And I measured the screen out. That's around 60 inches right there. So, I'm not going to tell you like I said, I would never endorse a TV, never. What for? My product does it all. Now see, if you're sitting there in the dark, and you're worried about your screen having the ability to pull up an image, then you know what? Go buy a TV. Because that's where you got to be at. I tell people this over and over again, you know what I mean? There's no point in going out and buying and getting, so I had to clean that mess up. That mess was driving me crazy. It was driving me freaking crazy. There's two sides to this. See, I was raised military, so everything had to be clean. I see mess that drives me nuts. And one thing I can't stand is I can't stand clutter. My room drives me crazy sometimes. I don't like to be in it half the time. I mean, I love the screen and all, but I keep it organized in there, but it's the clutter that drives me crazy. I can't stand clutter. It drives me nuts. So that's why I'm going to convert the creepy attic, which I don't like too much. I'm going to turn that into a gaming room up there because I'll have a lot more room to breathe up there. But I can't stand clutter. It drives me nuts. That's why I can't stand see how anybody. But if you notice, like in my environment, one of the things you'll notice that I wish my girlfriend was raised military. It'd be so much easier. It really would. Because I'm used to having the house neat and clean all the time. It drives me nuts not to have the house clean. It drives me crazy. So I'm used to having everything cleaned up. Right now I gotta bust down that entire down. I'm done building the screen. Now I gotta take that screen downstairs and I got to install it. But see how that's supposed to look? This is how this is what ambient light rejection technology is supposed to look like. It's supposed to look like a TV. That's what it's supposed to look like. Now, gray screen paint can't do this. I've done this on the Cinema Gray 5D and a couple other high performance elite screens. I've done it, put it against my screen out here in a fully lit environment. Keep in mind, I mean, if I can't get a gray screen to pull up in here, and that projector right here, I have my Optima, is at 3600 lumens, 20,000 to 1 contrast, and a gray screen can't pull up on an ultra short throw that's sitting less than a foot away from the screen, then you got to start questioning your screen. It's not your projector, it's definitely your screen. So that's why I can walk around the environment in my house and you'll see the lights on and you'll see an image pull with no problem at all. Let's come out of here. I got to get that room organized in there. That's going to drive me nuts. This is in the gaming room. Usually I have lights off in here. I had somebody once say, oh, you got the lights off. No, your screens operate with the lights on. And then over here, this is my work computer. Right now. Down there I got my computer and other stuff and my phone system for my business. As I told you before, the only TV we have in here is that. That's the only TV we got in the house. And that's for the security cameras. Everything else in here runs off projectors. So you have to be able to have confidence in your product to run everything in your house off projectors. There's no TVs in here. And in order to do that, keep in mind, I can't keep my house dark 24/7 to accommodate the projectors. So the screen has to be able to produce an ambient light. If not, everything in the house would be dark. Yeah, think about that. I got projection screens running through the whole entire house. If my screens didn't work with ambient light projection, this house would be dark. Now, like I said, everybody knows if you got a game, you have to have contrast. Without contrast, the whole picture quality, everything in the gameplay, it's just going to be garbage. It is. Because every time something comes up dark, it's going to come up light. I'm going to show you something here. Now, this is the screen I work on. In order for me, and this is a black screen, I have to be to read text. So that means the white level has to come up high enough for me to be able to see the text. If the screen comes up too dark, that means I can't see the text. So how is it possible that I can sit here and work in a fully lit environment on a black screen and I could read the text crystal clear? Because if the screen came up too dark, I would not be able to see the text at all, period. Well, let me go over here and grab me a video. We can look at that real quick. But like I said, I told you, man, you gotta watch out for the hypocrites, man. They're out there, man. You gotta watch out for them. People think we were just that and the other, but no. Like I said, I can walk through my entire house. All my lights are on. You can watch every last one of my screens live. 720p projectors. But majority, like I told you, if you're watching demonstrations and the high point of those demonstrations are done in the dark, the screen has to perform in the dark. It's the only way it's going to be to pull an image. I have to go through none of that nonsense. Now, I can't wait till this summer because I can do demonstrations walking through the house. Then we can go outside. You can see the screens I got outside. Oh man, I can't wait till you see the screens I'm doing outside. They're going to be absolutely insane this summer. And that's on my 720p Epson projector, short throw, ultra short throw. That is my 585W right there. See the angle gain on that? This is the reason why when we do our demonstrations, we do them outside. Because any screen that can perform an image outside, outside, inside is a cakewalk. And that's 720p right there. Lights out. Ain't gonna make much of a difference. You ain't got no choice but to switch over to a TV if you're gaming, because you can't pull contrast level on that light gray screen paint. That's a Supreme 8 right there. 720p projector right there. That's a 720p. If I can figure out exactly what's going on with the screen. Well, actually, my service. My service is running a little slow. Yeah, I think I got some internet connections going wrong. Let me see, just in case, I'm going to switch over to my data plan. Just in case if my internet goes down, I'm good. Nah, dude, I used to build gaming PCs. And I'm talking about, I built just about everything. I used to build gaming PCs. I used to be IT tech. No, monitors aren't the way to go. You don't have our black technology at all. See, the thing about it, it's easy to say that gaming monitors are the best way to go, but unless you tried our technology, you can't say that. I've had monitors of every kind you could possibly think of. Keep in mind, I'm 51 years old. I was around the time when gaming PCs weren't snapped together like Legos. They had to be soldered. And I mean, you had to solder everything. You got a breadboard, you got your circuits and transistors and all that stuff, and you soldered your boards. That's the era I grew up in, when internet speed was 14.4 and the AV, when you went to class and the guy brought in that AV setup, it wasn't VCR, it was reel to reel. So I grew up in that area. I got a chance to watch technology fold on different levels. I watched the 8-track player, everything from when CDs first came out. I had my first CD player when they first came out. I remember I had Public Enemy when they first came out. But as for the fact that if you're talking about, see, the reason why some people may say a monitor may be better, because you're using a gray and white screen. Gray and white screens can't pull contrast. These screens are black. They're not gray and white. These screens can pull images outside at 4 and 5 o'clock in an evening. Take a monitor out there and see what happens. You're limited with a monitor, bottom line. And trust me, I think the biggest, baddest PC I've ever built, I had a PC that had a 2011 motherboard. You know what a 2011 motherboard holds when it comes to RAM? It runs 264 gigs of RAM on a 2011. It's a server board. They don't run one processor. They run 4 12-core processors running that machine and that motherboard. So I'm not talking about building an everyday ATX board on an ATX board. I'm talking about building on a 2011 server board. That's how I used to build my PCs from. So instead of using 2 power supplies, because if you're running like somewhere between 15 and 16 terabytes of freaking hard drive space, especially solid state drivers, we're running all that in there. And on top of that, you're running 2 Tesla video cards back to back. Then you're going to have a big enough power supply. Keep in mind, I came from the era of soldering. So bottom line is, I would make my own basically ATX Molex adapters by slicing 2 adapters and making a Y adapter, so that way I can run 2 power supplies into one actually ATA power supply on a 2011 motherboard. But my my RAM of choice used to be PC 3000 OC. Now imagine 264 gigs of RAM and a board. That's a monster, my friend. Check them out. They're called 2011 motherboards. It's a server board. We used to build them out of that. As a matter of fact, I'll basically show you a few links. I got a few links of custom PCs I used to build back in the day. And we're talking about liquid cooling, customized liquid cooling, using copper pipes, all that good stuff, everything. Antifreeze, all that stuff. Now, PCs today, don't get me wrong, I love building PCs today, but like I said, coming up in my era, everything was all solder. It wasn't no such thing as you're going to snap this together, snap that together. You built your parts. You didn't get anything out of a box and load it up. You actually had to build everything. Good gracious. I remember the IDE cables. IDE cables. Before SATA cables came all the rage. IDE cables. Great big huge ribbon. Well, here's the thing, my friend. I've had monitors, man. I've had all sorts of monitors. So unless you've actually tried our black technology, you really can't say that because you haven't actually tried our product yet. So you don't know, basically. What you see is basically when you watch gaming on light gray screens and white screens. That's what you see. Because I doubt you've ever gamed on a black screen before. There's a difference between a black screen and a gray screen, or a huge difference. Remember when black screens pull in 100% contrast levels. And everybody knows if you're gaming, you have to have contrast. It is a must. I have no idea what's going on with the internet over here, but let's see what's going on over here real quick, because I'm spinning out of control on this, and there's nothing coming up. Let's see what's going on. It's easy to say that. I've had monitors. I've done all that stuff already. Shoot, I was gaming back when you had vector graphics and Pong, my friend. I mean, way back. Vector graphics and Pong. When Radio Shack, before Radio Shack was called Radio Shack, it was called Tandy Corporation. I was in that era. You ever game on 14.4? Phew. I mean, at that particular time, it's considered to be extremely fast, but now it's like, good God, why? I remember graphic cards, when graphic cards were 8-bit. An 8-bit graphic card was actually all the rage. Like, oh my God, all this power with an 8-bit graphic card. I'm going to find one. I collect old PC magazines. I'm going to find one of my old PC magazines from my era where they were bragging about an 8-bit graphic card and 28.8 high speed. They consider that to be high speed. Was 28.8, then you got the 56 times. Well, actually, you got the 56 and 56 times 2, and then DSL came in. Because I remember when the Dreamcast basically had that DSL high-speed adapter before the system actually caved in. Now, if you're talking about console or PC, I mean, pretty much, I've been around a long time when it comes to console. Keep in mind, OLED TVs are, bottom line is, no, they're not better. And I'll tell you why. OLED TVs have problems with dead pixels. And keep in mind, their TVs do also have a habit of burning out. You do know that in the back of those TVs, they do have a motherboard, right? There's a motherboard that runs everything in the back of that TV, right? And those TVs do have a high chance of actually overheating and burning out. I've seen tons and tons of videos of people basically complaining about having dead pixel issues, blue screens, red screens, all kinds of crap. So no, those TVs aren't perfect. And keep in mind, it costs more money to actually fix one of those TVs. You might as well go out and buy another one. Also, too, you run the risk of your kids actually smashing or destroying your screen. Let me know if you put a 90-inch OLED screen in the middle of your living room with a bunch of kids and see what happens. Guarantee at the end of the day, your screen will get cracked. And I guarantee it'll cost more money, like I said, to fix it. You might as well buy a brand new one. With my screen right here is around 126 inches. Let me know if you can get a 126-inch OLED TV and let me know the price. Oh, and by the way, this projector is 720p. It's not 1080p or 4K. But you let me know when you can get an OLED TV at 126 inches. Let me know. I'm kind of waiting. Are you going to reply back? Can you get me an OLED TV at 126 inches? For under $1,000? Oh, no reply. You can't. Yeah, I had a friend of mine who spent, I'd say about a good maybe $4 or $5 grand for an OLED. And he came home, he had a Matchbox car, basically scraped across the side of his screen. So, bottom line is, Dude, they have gaming projectors with high frame rates. Where you been? Literally, where have you been? They make gaming projectors. The Ultima GT 1080p Derby. Yeah, that's what that projector is designed for. They have gaming projectors. Dude, you're so far behind. I'm sorry, you're so far behind. They have actually literally gaming projectors. You do know that, right? Now, mind you, I was upstairs gaming just a few minutes ago on a projector that's 720p. That was actually only paid $139 for it. I had no problem with my frame rate. It was running perfectly with no problem whatsoever. But explain to me cost efficient. Let me know exactly, like I said, with the TV, let me explain to me with the TV on exactly the benefits. Were you going to say, I knew you were probably going to say for a minute, well, at least I can watch mine with the lights on. I'm sorry, dude, this is ambient light rejection technology. We developed this stuff. We can watch demonstration. We can watch, matter of fact, we have a demonstration on a projector pulling an image at 10 feet back at 7 o'clock outside at only 1,000 lumens. I can take one of your TVs and stick it in an environment. Any light hits it, any sun glare, a TV gets glare that flashes across the screen, which means you can't see it. It's just light reflecting off that screen. On top of that, I'm not going to spend $15,000 or $16,000 for an OLED TV, especially if you run the risk of getting dead pixels in the middle of your screen, or basically you end up destroying your screen through gaming. I don't hear a lot of people actually gaming on OLEDs. But no one's going to game on a 24 inch. How big is your monitor by any chance? Answer your question. How big is your monitor? How big is the monitor that you game on? Yeah. Bobby, how big is the monitor that you game on? I'm asking you a question. Well, I guess he's not going to answer back anytime soon. All right, let's figure out what's going on here. Because for some reason, lamp life. Dude, again, old questions. Now, if you had a projector that was manufactured somewhere around in 1999 or around that era, lamp life on a projector didn't last that long. These projectors right here, I got projectors downstairs that I bought used off Amazon and off eBay that are somewhere around 4 and 5 years old, and I've actually gotten 3 years out of them, 3 or 4 years out of them. So lamp life on a projector can last pretty long. Especially on my end, they last extremely long because I burn my projectors 24/7. Sometimes I leave these on. The Sony right here, I leave this on from time to time. I'll leave this burning for a couple of days. But as for lamp life, on top of that, Casio makes a projector that's lamp free. There's no lamp in it at all. It's laser. It's a laser and LED projector. I have one here. There's no lamp in it whatsoever. You could burn that thing 24 hours around the clock. It will never burn out. You could burn it for a straight year. It will never burn out because there's no lamp in it. It's laser and LED and DLP-based hybrid. On top of that, it's laser. Let me know when a monitor becomes laser. Competitive gaming. Dude, I was around when Unreal Tournament was only on keyboard and mouse. I used to do competitions where you had to build your own gaming rigs, VIP tags, go to freaking gaming tournaments and game one-on-one with other gamers. That's what I used to do. I told you I've been around gaming for a long time. I've been around gaming for a long time. I'm curious, what's your age? Because I can tell you something that I'm pretty sure you couldn't figure out. If you call yourself a gamer, I can tell you something that you couldn't figure out. Let me ask you a question. Neo Geos, the gaming console. Neo Geo, the gaming console, and the arcade machine, what makes that arcade machine different from any other arcade machine at that particular time? Neo Geo arcade machines have something really different about their coin slot. If you can tell me what's difference between a Neo Geo coin slot than any other gaming arcade coin slot, then you've been around a long, you know what I'm talking about. So what's the difference? Because Neo Geo has something different about the coin slot that no other game has. I'm asking you a question. If you are a professional gamer, trust me, my man, I've been around since, I said, vector graphics and Pong. Do you know what vector graphics are? Vector graphics is when they repeat the same line over and over and over again until it actually looks like you're getting a solid image, much like Tempest or Star Wars, stuff like that. I've been around that era. I remember when Virtual Fighters first came out. I remember when the Saturn came out, the Neo Geo, the FM Marty. You know what FM Marty is? FM Marty was a Japanese version of a gaming system. Actually, it was more PC than gaming system that came out. Do you know there was a system called a Scottie Pippen? Did you know that? It was made by Apple. I had the TurboGrafx 16 with and without the CD-ROM. I've had Bonk's Adventure, you name that. I've had the Virtual Boy when they came out. You name it, I've already been there and done it. 3DO, done that already. Name a system. I remember when N64 could go online. They had a thing called Game Shark, and with Game Shark, there was an adapter that you can plug into the side. It took 56K that will allow you to take your N64 online. But I asked you a question. What is the difference between a Neo Geo arcade machine than any other arcade machine ever made? Neo Geo's arcade machines were different. They had one thing that made them different than any other arcade machine out there. If you owned a Neo Geo, you would know exactly what I was talking about. Dude, you have Alienware. You know what Alienware does? Alienware actually jacks up the price, and either they give you too small of a video card or too big of a hard drive. My friend has Alienware. Most of my friends play on Alienware. But the best thing to do is to build your PC from the ground up. If you build your PC from the ground up, you can customize it any way you want. You know what Tesla video cards are? That's a $15,000 video card. You ever heard of Teslas before? Check out the price of 2011 motherboards, what they cost. 2011 motherboards don't take one CPU. They take four. 4 CPUs fit into that one motherboard. And they use, what's it called? They use a 12 core, 12 quad. Check them out. Check out 2011 motherboards. Find out how much they run for. What you're doing is you buy from Alienware. And Alienware, you pick out the parts, and they build it for you. They build your PC for you. I build my own machines. I pick out what parts I want. Either I go to PC Mod or it's a few sites I used to go to and buy my PC parts from. And I go there and I buy all my stuff. Cool PCs was another one. They had some pretty cool stuff over there too. I build all my PCs from the ground up. I don't have fans in any one of my any of my PCs. So I used to build them. I use either vegetable oil, actually submerged vegetable oil tanks, or I use liquid cooling. I didn't use fans because a fan, one of the problems I have with fans is fans will actually accumulate a lot of dust inside of the computer, tons of dust. Unless you got filters. If you got filters outside on your fans, then it means you're constantly pulling off the filters, taking a toothbrush and actually scrubbing them down. Unless you had quick releases that will allow you to actually slide the filters out the side of them, but you still had to scrub everything down with a toothbrush. And they got dirty pretty fast. That's why I went with liquid cooling system, because liquid cooling doesn't make any sound at all. And keep in mind, if you know how to daisy chain your liquid cooling, then that means you can run copper plates to your hard drive, to your RAM, to the CPU, and to the GPU. You can put them on your graphic cards too. Then you have to put a special solution in the water so you don't build up corrosion and all this other crap that goes on. You have to have a perfect kind of flow that actually pushes back and forth. So they make a ball about this big and has a little tiny fan on it, like a little fan. And then actually what it does is it actually gives a proper flow of that liquid to move around those tubes in order to actually keep that system nice and cool. Then you have to have a nice radiator unit. You can have 2 fans, you can have 3, how you want to do it. How I do my radiator system on my computer is even if you basically jump the R, sometimes if you get the fans that come with it, the RPMs are not high enough. So what I'll do is I'll get some pretty like 47 or something like that, some really high RPMs. And then what I'll do is I'll hook up a to a fan controller to it so I can actually speed up the RPMs on that radiator to actually cool it down even faster. Now, really quick, let me tell you about the Neo Geo. What makes a Neo Geo arcade system different from any other arcade system? Now, if you're a true gamer, you would know this. Neo Geos used to have a slot. You go into any form of pizzeria shop or anything, any place, a restaurant that may contain a Neo Geo, go look at the coin slot, look at the very top of it. You will see a slot at the top of it the size of a credit card. That was for when people own Neo Geos. Keep in mind, the reason why Neo Geos were so freaking huge was due to the fact that they had a full-size arcade board in the console system. So instead of you basically getting like Mortal Kombat on Neo Geo, you would get something like, keep in mind, if Neo Geo was doing something around something like 364 bits, right? And NES or Genesis was doing something like 16. So you had to figure out if the arcade system was doing maybe around 350 or maybe 360 bits, you had to break all that down to fit into 16. That's why when you got the console game of Mortal Kombat, it looked nothing like the arcade because they had to sacrifice so much stuff just to get to fit it in the cartridge. Where the Neo Geo looked exactly like the version at the arcade because Neo Geo had an arcade board that was actually inside of their console system. That's why the system was so expensive when it came out. Neo Geos, when they first came out, were $995 because I remember seeing them at KB Toy Store when KB Toy Store was in business. Now, as for the credit card slot, that was the memory card. So if you had a Neo Geo, and those of you who own one of them, you could take that memory card, you can stick it in your Neo Geo, and say you're playing something like Magic Lord or Metal Slug, you could end the game at home at level 10 and then take it to the arcade and take your memory card out and stick that in the top of where that slot was at and continue to play from level 10 from your home into the arcade. Now say you're at the arcade and you make it up to level 20, you can save it onto the little memory card slot, pull it out, save your game right there from the arcade, take that back home and start up at level 20 where you ended it at the arcade. That's what made the Neo Geos different. A lot of people didn't know that when they came. Well, a lot of people know that, but a few people didn't know that that's what that little slot was at the top for. That's what it was for. Now, when I was going to the arcade, those people who had Neo Geos, luckily I was able to get one. I got a Neo Geo Gold at that particular time. Man, those were basically people walking into the arcade, you know what I mean? You get the best gamers. Those of you remember the arcade era going, it was like the club, being at the club, you know what I mean? You picked your game you're good at. The games, mostly people played competition. It was Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat and stuff like that. You know what I mean? You had your gameplays back and forth and your rivalries back and forth. I mean, people would play back and forth. But then you had those particular gamers that would come in, they would have that Neo Geo card. The minute they slide in, like, oh my God, they got a Neo Geo. Because if you owned a Neo Geo, you had a bit of money on you because the console system alone was $995, close to $1,000. And the games would run you anywhere from $250 to anywhere to almost to $500 a game. A Neo Geo cartridge was the size of a VCR tape. I lied to you not. If you don't believe me, look it up yourself. Yep. That would be my era. All right, I don't know what's going on. I got a little spindy going on my screen right now, so I got to figure out what's going on with this right here. But I got to go real quick. I got to get cracking. I got much to do. I hope you enjoyed the video demonstration. Thank you all for your time. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I said, I love computers and stuff, but here's the bottom line. I'm going to always game on a screen. I support my product 100%. Some people may argue that, hey, a monitor is the best way to go. I've had monitors are not always sometimes the best way to go for me, due to the fact, and I know the story behind, people have told me horror stories behind the OLED TVs. Keep in mind, it's a beautiful piece of tech, but like I said, it does have problems. I've seen people basically having no sound, where the motherboard will burn out because the system is generating too much heat, where people are getting dead pixels on the screen, screens are turning blue, they're having all kinds of problems with them. And it's a lot of money to spend on the screen, when bottom line is it's short-lived. And then when you consider the fact that you have to turn around, the parts to replace are going to cost you 10 times more than what the TV is going to cost. And that's why if you go out on trash day, sometimes you might see a TV out there thinking, why would somebody throw out a TV? You know, it probably just needs to be fixed for parts, and you go and call up and find out that the parts cost more than the actual TV. You just might just buy another TV altogether. On top of that, consider the fact that they are accident prone, because if you have any kids or dogs in the house and they can get access to that TV, your screen gets jacked up, it gets jacked up. My screen gets hit with a Matchbox car, I can just go take a rag and just wipe over it and I'm done. That's it. But yeah, I would never do a TV at all, period, or I just wouldn't do it. Not on my end. But as on his end, he's saying that the frame rate and all that, I game on 720p projectors. I have no problem with frame rate whatsoever, period, at all. So don't get me something like that. And they do make gaming projectors. That's what the Ultima GT 1080p Derby is. It's a gaming projector. They make several gaming projectors. As for lamp light, they have projectors that have the ability to not have lamps. You can use laser projectors. They don't require lamps at all. On top of that, one of the benefits of having projectors is a much bigger screen without paying for it, because if you do want to get an OLED TV, you're going to have to pay for size, and you will. So keep in mind, you're not going to be able to get a 100-inch to 120-inch OLED. It's not going to happen. And you're not, and keep in mind, anything between a 60 and 80 is going to cost you an arm and a leg. And I've heard this from customers so many times. I'm just not going to spend the money for a TV because it costs too much money. And that's it. That's what it comes down to at the end of the day. You can't sit there and say, well, it's a projection screen. You can't use it in a fully lit environment because the screen might wash out and fade. No, I can walk around my house. I have nothing but projection screens throughout the entire environment. And I can see the screen anywhere that I move in its environment on an ultra short throw projector with no problem whatsoever. So why would I put a TV here when I can have a 126-inch screen here instead to watch the movies on? On top of that, watching TV on a 24, I had somebody tell me he got a real movie theater experience at 60 inches. No, you don't. Not at 60 inches, you don't. All right, I'm getting out of here. I got to go. God bless. Hope you enjoyed the demonstrations. Hopefully the rest of this will be done by tomorrow, and then I can start putting that outside on the deck. Hey, bet you can't do that with your TV. Take a 120-inch screen, stick it out on the deck, and watch the game at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Okay, got to go.